Can you get through the ford okay? Yeah. Do you think it's too deep? I'll never get up the step. Let's go. Hi guys. I'm going to try something different today. I'm just riding on my own and I've worked out a route around the Peak District, which I do all the time, different routes. So this is a 70-mile route. I plan it in base camp, starting from CMC in Clay Cross. So here's how I plan it. I always used to plot routes by going into Google Maps, then transferring it into base camp. Very complicated, don't do it anymore, throws up issues. I tend to have an atlas or a map next to me, which I can see where I'm going, and then plot straight into base camp as you see this. It's very fast. It's so accurate. This is a figure of 8 around the south part of the Peak District, Derbyshire and Staffordshire, and it is really enjoyable. It covers everything from single track to sweeping roads. 70 miles in total, take you 2.5 hours plus stops, and there are many stops as you see the sites that we have on the way. So enjoy it, it is a brilliant route. Heading through Clay Cross, ex-mining town, a lot of development here, thousands of houses being built. This is a tricky bend. So much traffic, only room for one, as you can see. Here is John Smedley Works. I think it's all knitwear, very famous. They have the Royal Crescent, home of fine knitwear since 1784. Yeah, Royal Crescent above the door there. This road brings us out at Cromford. Cromford's well known because of Cromford Mill. Sir Richard Arkwright, 1771, built this mill, and he's regarded as the father of the Industrial Revolution, really. It was the first successful water-driven cotton mill in the world, and from his design they went all over the place building them. So now Cromford Mill, the Derwent area, the mill area, is a World Heritage Site, but Cromford Mill is now a visitor attraction, and very, very worth a visit. Coming to Cromford Canal and Cromford Mill, you can see it here on the right, already packed with cars early on a Monday morning. And if you've got time, well worth a stop. Free to get in, and then you can pay for different tours and attractions, but you can wander around. But we're going through Cromford itself, and then turning into Via Gellia. This is a famous biking route. It was the second most dangerous biking road in the UK. It's not now. I had a look the other day, but it's still in the top 10. I can't remember whether it's 6 or 7. They said in the local newspaper the other day that over £2 million is going to be spent on this stretch of road, and they're asking for any suggestions. So there we are, Via Gellia. We start at 40. Derbyshire Council very concerned about this particular road. That's the easiest way slow bikers down. Fill it with lorries, isn't it? You can imagine the danger that there can be here. You can see blue sky again. Wonderful. In winter months that is so dark coming through Via Gellia. We open up and the sky is blue, the grass is green. This is where the Why Not Festival is on my left. Each year, quite successful, mini Glastonbury. This year, Kasabian, Bombay Bike Company, or whatever they're called, Royal Blood, Paul Weller. If I can find a list of who's coming this July, I'll put it up just about now. And you can see it's grown from somebody's back garden, from what I understand, into quite a festival. Fabulous scenery here. You can really see the Peak District stretching out in front of us. This is the old railway line. It's now the Tissington Trail for cyclists and walkers. So we're coming into Hartington and we'll stop here. I think I might have a coffee, warm my hands up. See people, walkers, having their coffee. Just find somewhere I can park. Actually, this is quite good. Oh, that was a brilliant cup of coffee and a bacon bap. So now we head off down the road to Staffordshire. So here's the border, the river, from Derbyshire into Staffordshire. Campsite, pub, coffee shop, Manifold Inn. Do some beautiful food there. So we turn off here. We're heading towards Manifold Valley. just got to stay so alert on roads like this, don't you? What a lovely house that is, isn't it? Now we go to the right here, and there's a tunnel somewhere. Oh, here. That's right, a tunnel right through. We must have had some very bad rain here. It's only 20 miles an hour. Must remember that. In a moment we come to Wetton Mill, which is a beautiful little place to stop and have a coffee. Sit by the river. This river you see there to my left. At Wetton Mill, this river, just past it, if it's been dry, it disappears. It goes underground. And if you got a chance to have a coffee, you can walk down, especially in the summer. You'll suddenly find that the river is dry. Well, it looks, we have had a lot of rain, so I don't think that is the case today. And then it doesn't appear, it doesn't come back up, it goes into underground caverns and everything else. It doesn't come up until you get to Ilam, which is the next village we're going to. This is Wetton Mill's tea room there, you see that? And it is lovely. Now the river's full now, it's not usually that full. A lot of walkers love this area through Manifold Valley to walk. Now this is very narrow hill and it's wet and it's muddy. Across the valley is Thor's Cave. I don't think I'll catch it because I daren't stop here. A massive cave that you can walk to from the other side. There. There's people walking up into it. Can you just see it there? Very impressive. There's people walking up into it now. Isn't that amazing? So you can walk from the village of Wetton, which is further up the way we're going. Got to scan far ahead to see if any traffic is coming. There are not many passing places here. This takes us to the village of Wetton, and the walk to Thor's Cave is from this village. Yes, you won't see it on that sign. It says Thor's Cave right. So that's Wetton. We're now heading to a remarkable village called Ilam. It's remarkable because the architecture is, I would say, Swiss cottages, and all built by, there's a stately home, what was a stately home there, and that is again a youth hostel, what's left of it, but it's pretty big. But the industrialist who owned that time had this idea of building the school and the houses in a Swiss style. It's always crowded. Can't even get a bike in there. I don't think I can stop. Maybe I can just turn around here and show you the Swiss cottages. Can you see them? They're beautiful, aren't they? Even the school. And the lovely bridges. The river's very full. This is where the river comes up. If it is underground, it comes up just up by the hall. But there's been a lot of rain, which is actually worrying me about another part. On this route I've got us going through Tissington Ford. I came out the other week with my wife in the car and we couldn't get through the ford in the car. It was so full. 2 or 3 times its size. We got down to it. We just daren't risk it. I was hoping that the water would have dropped everywhere, because you go to Tissington village, then you ride for another mile or 2 and you come down to the ford. And a Dovedale is there in that gorge that you see to my left. So from Ilam you can walk over the fields and come down into Dovedale, or you can ride and park and walk along here from here. That is well worth a visit, and there's a cafe and ice cream, but it's the stones over the river that have been there for years. Just wonderful to walk, step right across the river. See quite a few people on the path now. I think I'll go into Tissington at the end of this few miles through the estate is where the ford is, but I think I'll go into Tissington anyway, even if I turn around in the village without going all the way to the ford. And I think you can actually go and see the hall itself along here. Something going on. Oh, there's bikes to hire. Another cafe. And there's the hall itself, Tissington Hall. I think it's still owned by the same family after generations. You can go around it on certain days. Beautiful, isn't it? Tissington Hall. What a size that is. Duck pond. There's a lot of water. Can you get through the ford okay?
Yeah, you can do, I think, yeah. It is deeper than normal.
Yeah. Did you get through?
There's a little bridge.
Ah, yeah, there is.
But the cars have gone through ahead of you.
Yeah.
You might get your feet wet.
I don't mind that. No, I never know. I think there's some place I can turn around there if it's too deep. No. I'll have a look. Thanks ever so much anyway. No. It's just there's no cars coming this way or going through. Yeah. I'll try it.
Actually, there's a big van came up, a big white van.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, he came up.
See, they're okay usually.
Higher off the ground.
I will try. You might see me pass you in a minute.
Okay, I will wait.
Thank you. Do you think it's too deep? As long as it's not slippy. Yeah, but is there there's steps on the other side? I'll never get up the step. Let's go. Wow. Brilliant. Brilliant. Done it. Heart in my mouth time. Carsington Water. Coaches, motorcycle parking only. Look at those clouds. I think I'm going to be riding into rain in a minute. That's not so good. So the clouds have come over. It started to drizzle since I've been relaxing at Carsington Water for a little while. So not such a nice day after all. Road along by the side of Carsington Water here is beautiful. Very smooth, wide, sweeping corners. So here we come into Matlock Bath. Matlock Bath in Victorian times, of course, was the place to come. Sort of the Venice of Britain. Matlock Bath, a favourite for bikers. And you see on the weekend them absolutely filling every parking space you can imagine. As we get towards the autumn, I think it's September, they have Venetian nights on the river with all boats lit up, and it's quite a spectacle. See the cable cars going up through there? I don't know whether you can see them. Now we're going into Matlock itself. Matlock's much more of a retail centre. Accommodation, lots of cafes and restaurants. It's quite a nice place, Matlock. The river, of course, goes through. I know there's big issues with the bridge here. Oh yeah, you can see this crane. Look at the size of it. Now our route takes us straight on, but I can see the road is closed, so we're just going to have to come off route for a minute. And loads of workmen there. So we're back on the route now. This is Darley Dale. Quite busy. Yeah, the clouds come in again. It's blowing in from the south. So I escaped it, but I think it's trying to catch me up now. It's okay approaching this junction from the right. When you come from the left, you've got to go right back on yourself. So we're coming up to the first. I want that car to go well ahead. You're just hoping that there's nothing coming. And then the second. And then the third. So it's beginning to rain again as we come across the top after that very difficult hill. This is a tricky little junction again. Okay, if nothing is coming, which it isn't. Bateman's Mill, lovely place to stay, great meals, and whenever we have people come to visit us, if we can't put them up, that's where they stay. And there's CMC again. So that's the journey. Many thanks. Thanks for joining me. Remember to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and look out for the next route in the Peak District. Cheerio.